Hello and welcome, folks. Welcome to another Mono stream. It is time for Karn to make another appearance. Of course, after the nerf of the companions, the metagame changed significantly because, well, basically Lurrus decks don't really exist anymore, or at least their power level has been nerfed considerably. To the point where we don't play against, red black prowess literally every other match or something. So what this did is a couple of things. Number one, Bant Control rose again to the top of the format. In fact, it was probably I imagine one of the best performing decks over the past weekend. It did really well in both in the Showcase Challenge and in the Modern Showcase, both events happening this past weekend. And not only that, but also the rest of the metagame has kind of like shifted around a lot. In response to Bant Control, we have Tron coming back, and I think that it might be time for Karn to make a comeback. At least I know that I think Stacy is back, definitely, and in a big way. I think honestly it's just strictly better than Gracer right now. So definitely happy to be back playing Stacy. And yeah, I want to try out today whether Karn is the way to go. As you can see, my sideboard is pretty much the same that it was before. I didn't do any real changes. So it's that's what I want to figure out today. Like I think I might want to be playing some number of mystical disputes, although we need those a little bit less since we have access to Karn. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Gust and Dispute are simply not as necessary. What's up, Royal Welcome. Let's go, Irakias. We're on the play. Bounce land represents turn 3 Titan. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep this hand. Even any land could be pretty great. It's definitely on the greedy side of keeps, obviously. Humans. Well, this is a matchup where Karn is not very good. Bounce land. Any bounce land will do it. My opponent says if I'm the last Mono streamer. I think I'm gonna play the Teleria West here. Pass the turn. Hopefully no meddling mage. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Honestly, there is an argument there for not playing the Azusa, because if I draw a green bounce land, then I would like for the Azusa to not be in play, because our opponent could Reflector Mage it and Time Walk us. Alright, bounce land for the win. This was totally gonna happen. This was totally gonna happen. Never doubted for a second. Yeah. Alright. Shouldn't have kept that hand. I should have mulliganed. Yep. Alright. So the good thing is that we get to cut the cards and we get to play rear cards instead, which is nice. So that's pretty cool. Boat. The Karn Father returns. Yes, and then we immediately get paired against terrible matchup for the card. Fox Midden, thank you for the follow. Wait a second. Is there another for Fox Midden, or did you just never follow me, Fox Midden? This is actually a reasonable keep. I like this one. Did you just like never follow me before? That's so mean. So we're definitely gonna be playing one of these explosives on 2 right now. PogChamp. Yeah. So the play is to play Simic Growth Chamber and bounce this. We play explosives for 2. And now even if they have Medley Mage or Freebooter, we just crack the explosive Sand Step and then we just tighten them. Wow. Is Bogecat versus human, so about to go to 29 lands? Well, as you can see, that's exactly what I did. I don't love going down to 29 lands, but it's fine. Like it's just okay. So this is actually pretty awkward. I think it's enough. Like we just get enough ahead that Shasalan, thank you for the follow. And we get to play our own Deputy of Detention by cracking here on step. So I think it's worth it. Of course, we immediately draw the Explorer. Okay, so we're gonna do 1, 2. This allows me to play more lands, make sure that I don't randomly die. Although I guess I could still die to... maybe actually that was wrong, because I could still die to Damping Sphere. So I guess I'm gonna just play another Explosives on 2. I was gonna say, did the lag just get me and I lost there? But no, it was actually my opponent just conceding. Screen froze as you were aside on the last. Oh yeah, yeah. No, we cut the one of Ojigabo. It just doesn't do anything. I've been subbed to your channel for ages. Does that count? Yeah, that counts for Sweden. I will give you the pass on that one. I will give you the pass on that one. Don't worry about it. I don't think I want Rex Sage. Ugh. Better by a lot. We're gonna keep this. And I guess we bottom the redundant amulet. Were you going to get 2 pool forests? No. To protect against fear? No, because I play the explosives on 2, so this fear doesn't get me anymore. That's a good draw. Is it better to Stacy? Or is it better... I think I'm just gonna Stacy. The upside is a lot higher. My opponent might freeboot my amulet away, but if they freeboot my amulet, that means that they don't freeboot my pact. So like freebooter is gonna be good against us in this turn right now, nonetheless. Probably melee mage, yeah. The correct art too. Good job, OP. Good job. Huh, interesting name. Engineered explosives. So that probably tells me that they have another meddling mage. We can still pack for Udo. It's not great, but it gets something going, you know? So if this is Reflector Mage, this is kind of fine. And even if they Reflector Mage and they Phantasmal Image copy Reflector Mage, we're still fine. So I think we float all the mana and we wait for them to pass priority. And now that they pass priority, they have no way where they get priority because before I get to cast my Titan. So if they were holding on to a meddling mage or a Phantasmal Image, they just got caught. Seems like they probably weren't. So they would need to set up lethal right now somehow. So they can copy Reflector Mage. Wow, they did have it. It's very interesting. Wait, is this lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Okay, so I guess if they have... If they have Lieutenant, we're dead. If their last card in hand or their draw step is a Lieutenant, we're dead, but we beat everything else. Because this is until your next turn, right? Until your next turn, yeah. So now, because they did this on my turn, I am going to be able to cast my Titan now that we're going to my turn. And I'm going to get to Dryad plus Valakut, so I just destroy everything. Yeah, they should have definitely meddling maged there. Unless they have exactly lethal with, what's his name, right? If they have lethal with Thalia's Lieutenant, then this play is fine. But if they don't have lethal, then that is most likely just a misstep. Mantis Rider, does Mantis Rider do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, Mantis Rider wouldn't have done it. Okay, so we play land first. Then we Dryad. Then we play a land again. And now we tighten. So now we Valakut plus field. This destroys their entire board. Even if they have another Reflector Mage, it just doesn't matter. They actually need to bounce the Dryad here, but if they do that, then I still get to get Zombos. So I should be able to stabilize here. Also, this is not the timing to do this either. Yeah. Yeah, they bounce the Dryad. So that means that I'm gonna get Zombos. So, Field of the Dead plus Radiant Fountain. Now, I guess that was a misstep on my part. We're gonna get to play Primetime again. So this is probably gonna be just fine. So now we serve. We get 2 bounce lands. Where's my Sanctuary? There. I guess they could have Deputy. Maybe they have Deputy. So let's just do Teleria West plus Vesuva. We have enough zombies already, so I'm just gonna copy Teleria West. Am I playing in the prelim today? No, I will have to go teach a lesson in between, so I can't play the prelim. Yeah, I was actually looking at that earlier. Also, prelims are just, I lose so many viewers in the downtime of prelims. Prelims don't work very particularly well for me for whatever reason. It's like, it's something like the stakes are not high enough for people to hang around in the downtime, while the stakes are high enough when you play like a showcase challenge like I did yesterday and the day before. So people tend to stay longer in those events, but the prelims just don't have that high of stakes for people to not just leave whenever the round is over, you know? While with leagues, there's basically no downtime because like the game is done and then you just queue up for the next one. So there's virtually no downtime. So I don't lose viewers. If they hadn't Reflector Maged in response, I think I would have done the same thing instead of going for Valakut. Because then I can go for Valakut with the second Titan. Is there a specific reason why we played Steerings? We stopped playing Steerings, sorry. So the reason is that, first of all, we were never a very good Steerings deck to begin with. So the fact that we were not a very good Steerings deck kind of makes things awkward. I was gonna say, they might just give me the aggro GGs, like, before they kill me. So that would have been gross. I think they didn't. Should they back in response? I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Like, this thing is gonna die. So they're gonna attack with everything. Block here, take 6. We go down to 9. We go down to 3. Maybe I should have packed it for Uro there, just to make sure that I was clean. I was in the clear. I think I'm gonna pack for Uro, actually. I guess packing for a prime time is just better, right? Yeah, just get Uro. For diversity purposes. They gave me like a smiley face. You see how we played around Deputy and our opponent actually had it? It always feels good when you do that, you know? When you take the line that best plays around the card and they actually have it and you end up winning because of that, it feels good. Okay, that's not a keep. This is kind of a keep. Turn 3 Karn on the play. Back to Karn, trying it out. Great creator. I've had opponents deputy my Titans when I can set up Valakits anyway. It's hilarious, yeah. Where our opponent could have like done everything, but I think they just missed the interaction. It feels like they didn't know how Valakut interacts, how Valakut works with Dryad. They could have waited for me to go get the Valakut and then bounce the Dryad. And then I would have gotten got. I still think I probably wouldn't have gone for it. All right. So this is something like bug, shadow, or whatever, right? How does the bot know what opponent's record is? I have no idea how that works, but it works. That's all I know. Well, so I'm definitely playing Karn here. I can Karn minus for Wormcoil or Karn minus for explosives. I think minusing for Wormcoil is just better. We can still cast the Worm next turn. Oh wow, Stubby D. Brutal. Now the ghosts are huge. Maybe I should have played around that. Just spend my turn exploring and just play around Stubborn Denial. Going for the Explore here because we can garrison. Yeah, they're just gonna stub it. Snap stub. Yeah, okay. Because I could have garrison, bounce, bog myself, and now the ghosts are only 2/3s. Alright, so we're playing against Shadow. Valakut fizzles because he doesn't see mountains if he bounces after you search it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, SBS. That's how it works. Because Valakut checks both on... so it checks on trigger and it checks on resolution. So if after the Valakut trigger happens, and this is the same with Field of the Dead. Both of these check both on trigger and on resolution. So first it checks that you have the things that you need, which is like the 6 lands or whatever. I like this hand. And then it sees again on resolution. And if you don't have what is needed upon resolution, then it will fizzle. Because it will not see the necessary mountains. Alright, so they have this card spell because they targeted me with the bubble, which is bad for us, obviously. Would not be surprised if they just take the Dryad here, yeah. It grows the Goyf the most. Also Shadow going back to playing Street Wraith, which is nice. Want the castle in play because if I draw like green source into like green bounce land, just don't have another Thoughtseize, please. I mean, we don't need to see a bounce land. It would be great to see a bounce land, but if we don't, we're still fine. As long as our opponent doesn't clock us extremely quickly. Boo, boo. Alright, Engineered Explosives off the top. Gonna play Ghost Quarter because this is what allows, this is another green source in this guy, so if my opponent goes to less than 8 and they lower their guard, we can actually get him next turn. Well, that sucks. That is what punishes me, because now I don't have double blue to transmute, and if I had gotten to Lurrus into play, I could have transmuted for... I mean, I still think that nothing that we have done this game really would have mattered. Like, our opponent's good was just a little... Our opponent's draw was just a little bit too good. Yeah, we're just opening a 2-turn clock. We're just dead. I don't think there was any way that we could have won that game. There was no order of cards that we could have won. Or I guess we needed to, like, when they tapped out for Double Shadow, we needed to have top deck exactly explosives on that very turn. That was the only way that we could have won. Or we needed them to not have the second Thoughtseize. But yeah. Bad matchup is bad. That's actually a little bit of a problem. Like the shadow comeback can be a little bit of an issue. Although Bant is the best deck in the format, why would Shadow make a comeback? It makes no sense. It's not good against Burn. I guess that the bug version is actually probably the best against Burn. Because it has stubs, it has Snapcaster, and it also has Goyfs. So that's probably... It doesn't have Timur Bad Rage though, which is pretty important in the Burn matchup. So maybe 4-color Shadow. Maybe. But the Bant matchup is just unwinnable for them. They just cannot beat it in a million years. Which makes me think, why would people want to play Shadow right now? Maybe they're just Dido, you know? Who only plays Shadow. Come on, opponent! Join the match. Thank you. Turn 1 Stacy with a castle, okay. With an explorer as well. All right. Ugh. Well, even if they Searing Blaze Stacy on turn 2, it's not the end of the world. So 3 matches we played so far. Three matches where I'm gonna be citing out Karn the Great Creator. So maybe it's actually not the best time to be playing Karn. When do you decide to play Karn? No Karn? If I feel like it. I like playing Karn, and I think Karn sometimes is very good and sometimes isn't. Right now we're facing a couple of matchups where Karn is not very good, unfortunately for us, but also our opponent is playing blue-red, the prowess nonsense. What the hell? We've seen the channels insinuated core 21 as well, and we're sure how we deal with that card if it's this layout, and we don't do Blast Splash for Path. I think that people are undervaluing how easy it is to trigger that, but I think that it has the potential to be like a 1 or 2 off. I don't think that burn players are going to be playing 4 copies of the card, right? Yeah, they cast the Serum Vision, so I assume that they were on Iset. Bold Face. Green Source would be nice draw. Okay. Well, we're definitely playing Triad here. We're going to be playing T-West, and I guess we're going to play Vestuva copying Valakut. The fact that it's a snow-covered forest instead of the regular forest is just great. So we're gonna block with this Dryad, and if our opponent can pump it or whatever, okay. So can they set up lethal right now? Or I guess they can hold up Remand. Okay. So I guess I'm going to start here, see what my opponent does. So now we play land, we trigger here, and we trigger their face. Always yes, always healed. So now if they bounce it, we just recast it. Okay. So both of the triggers fizzle. Now we recast it, and we play another land. And now this time around, I'm just gonna send both triggers at the Swift Sphere. Again, like if the Dryad survives, like we're just gonna Titan them next turn. So I don't want my opponent to be able to like bolt my face in response. Then the Swift Spear survives, and then they Vapor Snag my Dryad again, and then they attack for lethal. So by using the 2 triggers, like the extra 3 damage does not matter. I'd rather just make sure I kill the Swift Spear. Did I see the 6/6 Trumper reach? Yeah, I think it's not going to be playable for us, unfortunately. One. So they could have Malik. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're just going to lead with Karn. Minus for coding. Maybe they leak this. Tarka's command. Okay. Let's do this. And we're not gonna attack. And on their upkeep, we're gonna coding their blue source. Maybe I should have just slammed the Titan, but it seemed likely for them to have access to stuff, you know? Like Remand or whatnot. So now we can cast Titan playing around Mana Leak. If they have Remand, they have Remand. They don't. Sweet. Also, they are not playing 2 colors, they're playing 3 colors, which is honestly kind of wild to me. And it means that I'm not gonna sideboard for... I'm not gonna sideboard for Blood Moon. We might get got by it if my opponent does have it, but... This looks good. Back on KARNback, yeah. Karn is great. We played 3 matches and we sideboarded all the Karns out in all 3 matches so far, so it's not great. Like, great, but it's great. Maybe they had a new Blackbird's Prowess creature. Yeah, I would imagine that they're playing the dragon. Sprite Dragon, I think is the name. It's blue-red, it's not black-red though. Timur Prowess. There are some very brave people out there. No lander, so we're gonna ship it. This is a lander. This one is a lander, so I guess I'm gonna keep it and bottom the Stronghold. We have a lot of potential draws here, and we have Dismember to kill like an early Swifty. Delver, holy crap. Our opponent's playing Delver in Modern. Our opponent is playing Delver in Modern. Of course the Delver doesn't flip because this is the Modern format. Swift Spear. So I think I'm gonna actually kill the Swifty here. Watch out for days. Sure. Damn it. Alright, we're drawing absolutely nothing all of these turns. Doesn't help our chances. But okay, so I think I'm going to play the tap Tolere West here. Looking for that engineered explosives action. Of course, the Delver doesn't flip. Delver is just not a playable Modern card. Like, get over it. Get over it, folks. You cannot play Delver in Modern. Alpine Moon. You love to see it. What do they even name? Like Stronghold? Valak. Speaking of unplayable cards, explosives. So if I Udo right now, I gain 3 life. Then I spend the next turn paying for my pact. And then on the following turn I get to Titan. Alternatively, I could pack for Dryad here. Pact for Dryad doesn't gain life, but what it does is it puts a 2/4 body into play. The problem is that our opponent's playing Vapor Snag. They showed us multiple Vapor Snags last game. So I guess that gaining the life is gonna be better. Because by the time Titan comes down, we're gonna get to get zombies, so things are gonna be a lot easier then. So I think that I'm going to go for Udo instead of Spell Pierce. Okay, this just counters the thing. We're not paying for Pierce. Playing a tapped Breeding Pool and say go. Hey, awesome man, how's it going? Vapor Snag. Which is the card I was playing around. Remember, chat, when I was playing around Vapor Snag? And then my opponent revealed that card. Remember when that happens? Okay, so we just go Squatter here. We're just dead though, right? We just cannot beat the Vapor Snag, like the 1 point of damage from the Vapor Snag. I should have played Castle, by the way, because I could top deck Radium Fountain, which is the only way that we survive. Okay, that's lethal. Our opponent's deck is very bad. I was trying your Snowco list last night and it felt great. Yeah, I think it's very good. I kind of want to play a Clothes in this sideboard. That card is basically a Mirror Breaker. It does so much to mess with your opponent, while at the same time it just keeps you further and further away from dying while your opponent needs to like raise it. So if it comes down early enough, it's kind of impossible to beat, honestly. If it comes down on turn like 12 when your opponent has like a Noko going and stuff, then it's not going to be doing too much. But as long as it doesn't turn into a creature. Funny that you actively don't want it to turn into a creature, because if as soon as it turns into a creature, your opponent actually has ways to answer it, which is hilarious. Had to play it on Cockatrice because I can't afford MTGO. Yeah, it is absurdly expensive. It does play some of the most expensive cards in Magic Online. This is the list. And these, like Udo and Force of Negation, are some of the most expensive cards in the entire program. The Fairy is also high up there. Oh, come on. Yeah, I guess I keep this. So we keep this, we bottom field. So we're gonna play Castle, then we're gonna Vesuva, copy hopefully our opponent's green source. Maybe a Breeding Pool or something. Is there enough devotion in the whole deck to turn Cloth is on? I think there might be. Though I'm honestly not 100% sure. Crumbling Vestige is not good enough. We're definitely playing out the Castle though, because if we top the Gazusa, we can actually just Titan next turn. Wow, opponent's an absolute luck sack. Flipping Delver the very first try. Wild. Luck sack confirmed. Yeah, there's a Vesula that the Breeding Pool that I wish I could have copied. Sweet. So even if they have like the Alpine Moon, it still doesn't matter because we can use Crumbling Vestige next turn. They went bottom top. Okay. Copy breeding pool, pass the turn. So next turn we're gonna Vestige Titan. Delver in this economy, yeah, I just don't understand what my opponent's doing over there, but like more power to them, I guess. More power to them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Damn it, we drew the Bajukabog. This is fine though, we're just gonna get zombies. So Vestige, float a green mana. Cast my Titan. Garrison, Stronghold. Haste my Titan. Bounce this. Delver in any modern economy. Yeah, this is just not a modern playable card, but people try. People really, really try. Unfortunately, we cannot... So if they have something silly like Become Immense, they might be able to set up lethal. Unfortunately, I couldn't go ahead and... Like, we naturally drew the Bog, which was one of the cards that I wanted to get here. So that really messes us up. I'm definitely going to be throwing everything in front of this Arcanist. How much worse would Titan be without Vesuva? For a no with Merfolk 5 Arta, why? Why would you do that to yourself? How much worse would Titan be without Vesuva? I don't know. It would still be good, probably. So I guess they can bolt from the Arcanist, and they could sacrifice the Arcanist to kill the Titan. Still seems not great. Okay, Vapor Snag is something. But they use the green source, so now they can't do something like Become Immense. Still no green source. So they can get back the Vapor Snag. Snag a token, we go to 14, we take 3 more. Sambo is gonna block Arcanist, of course. Go down to 11. Okay. It's pretty solid. So we're gonna giant here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're gonna leave white mana floating. It's really funny that Dryad, Asus, Sunread, and Fountain have found their way into Standard, and there's Fierce Empath. We're slowly ramping our way towards Titan. Oh, really? Radiant Fountain also is seen in Standard now. I didn't see that one. So I could pack for Dryad here? So we Valakut plus Simic Growth Chamber. Okay, looks like they didn't have it. Sweet. Was of course going to pack for Dryad there. Hoping Jumpstart will be the Titans. What? I didn't understand what you mean there, Hannibal. Oh, look at this hand, it's priceless. Look at this hand, it's great. So we're definitely keeping this. I think I'm bottoming the redundant castle. So this is a turn 3 Karn on the play. Alternatively, I could just bottom the Stacy. Actually, that seems potentially better, right? This means that any land can cast a Titan. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna bottom the Stacy. It doesn't speed up our Karn or our Titan. Alright, sweet. Play my amulet. Bounce this. Play explore. Play this again. We can Dryad into Karn. Seems pretty hard for our opponent to beat. Hey, some respect, easy. We can't Titan right now. I think I'm gonna Titan into Karn. I think I'm just gonna try it actually, now that I think about it. Can I transmute this turn too? So I play Garrison, leave blue floating. I bounce castle. Yeah. So we float. Bounce this, play Dryad, play castle, transmute for Pact of Negation. Next turn we have Titan with Pact backup. There you go, Moose Man. You can always find all my deck lists on with the exclamation deck command. Yeah, so we just win the game. Get a tapped breeding pool, +1 mana. So we're gonna leave white floating here. Summoners back, prime time, etc., etc. Yeah, Rex Sage, explosives, Karn's out, Bog out. Let's do this. Explorers are not very good in this matchup either. It's fine. No Worm? No. I think that Worm is a trap against Burn. It's really easy for them to play around. Just not worth a card. I think it's a very common misconception. You want that's why like the card that people were hyped about, the card that got announced today, and it's just not a good card. Against Burn, you want the immediate you want the effect to be immediate, because if your opponent knows that there's a Worm in play, they have so many easy ways for them to play around. 4 out of 4 or Karn's out. Yep. So maybe the metagame is not as as mid-range / control heavy as I initially envisioned. At least it's not looking like so. Is Karn Daddy home? I mean, it's been in the sideboard more than it's been in our main deck, but it is there. There was a possible Amulet Kite and card spoilers. No, I don't think that's gonna see play. I think it's just worse than Thrugtusk. It will be a week or so, but the meta needs some time to adjust. Yeah. There's no rush. We're gonna get there. You're talking about the 6/6. Yes, I think the 6/6 is not playable. Trip 6. Are you talking about another card? That's the one I saw people talking about, and the one that people were commenting about in my Discord. Is there another one? But yeah, it's kind of wild how ridiculous that card sounds like, and how it's still like not remotely close to playable. I'll keep this. Like 5 years ago, if you had like that card be printed, everybody would be like, "What? This card is insane!" And nowadays, everybody's like, "Yeah, this is just not playable. It's not gonna see. It's not gonna see any play." That's a funny meme. I really like that meme actually, like the empath meme. Is it possible that League meta is just different than competitive tourney meta due to expense of the Bant Snow deck? That's also very possible, SBS. That is also quite possible. I think this one is actually super interesting. I think I'm gonna go with the highest upside play. If they answer, like if I play Amulet, that means that next turn I can Dryad, but I'm also enabling my opponent to destroy my Amulet there. And like this is just a great exchange for us. Like Stacy just won us 3 life. So now we're gonna play our Amulet, and I guess play our Valakut or whatever. Hopefully they don't destroy your Amulet, but... actually, because of that, maybe I should have played Simic Growth. But the upside is that now we get to Bailoff next turn. Alright, yeah. All amulet memes are top tier memes. Agreed. Yeah, right. And we just kind of YOLO that we're gonna get another land. But I just don't want to. I really don't want to get got by my opponent being able to destroy my amulet with a Smash the Smithereens or whatever. Do you think opponent knows about the companion nerf? I hope they do. Also, why the hell would they fetch on their upkeep? Remember that when I said that I wanted to play around my opponent being able to answer my amulet, so I wanted to develop my mana? Remember when I did that, chat? I would block. Nothing? Coward. Yeah, I think we're gonna try it actually. We take 2. But if our opponent has like a path or something, we're still fine. I feel my cranium expanding with every single stream. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. All right, let me go do better TTV. Better Twitch TV. Wait, what happened there? I totally missed what happened. Like I was, so. Oh, they activated Lurrus. That's what happened. Untap source or bounce land, 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 untap source or bounce land. What if so I used 2 of my land drops here. Oh, the opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Makes sense. All right, so something needs to go, folks. So these are currently my BTTB emotes. Which one's gonna go to make room for 5 head? I guess Ricardo Flick can go. That one is by far the one that's the least used. So now we're gonna look for 5 head. And it should be added to channel right now. All right, keep this. Mulligan this. I think we're gonna mulligan this one as well. So this is 4 lands. We're on the play. Know my matchups? Yeah, exactly. Staffs, you got it. What version of Amulet do you think is the best in the current meta? Andrew All-Star, I have no idea. Like, I imagine, like, according to what I play over during the weekend, I imagine that Karn was going to be it, right? And then today we just played League and we cyber the Karn out on every single matchup we play so far, so... Well, I just caught Ricardo Flick, though. Like, what are you talking about? This hand is so sketchy. It's kind of good though. Oh, I guess that nothing mattered, so that's fine. There is no such thing as the current meta yet. Exactly. I don't even understand this art. Is this the head? Has like a super tiny head. It's like a big monster with like a super tiny head. Is that what's going on? I'm a Hooling sub. I have 99 plus timeouts on his channel. I can take it. Nice, Doctor. There's no way they chop it off, make the agreement. Yeah. Nam South. I don't even know what that is. One Neobrand matchup per league required. I mean, why would I not lose on turn 1 on the play, right? Hashtag turn 4 format. Yep. Every chat has a constant battle between Nams and Ayayas. Okay. It's a tale of soulless time. Okay, good to know. Thank you for widening my culture knowledge. So we turn 1 amulet, we turn 3 Karn, and then we lose. So now we turn 1 scout, and we turn 3 Karn, and then we lose. So now we turn 1 past the turn, and then we lose. Cool, cool. All roads lead to turn 3 Karn and lose. Yeah, exactly. Turn 1 amulet, turn 2, we don't get turn 2. Do you think Titanship will play even again in Modern? I doubt it. Honestly, I just think that Titanship is just a worse version of other decks. Sure. Right, cool. I just, yeah, I don't have nothing to say about that match. It's getting really old. It's getting really, really old that just to like be playing 4 league matches, you know, 4 match leagues, you know. Yeah, yeah, it gets old very, very quickly. There's only so many turn 1 and turn 2 losses that I can take before where my decisions don't matter before I just start getting frustrated. But that's fine, whatever. Anyway, Karn did not look good. It did not look good whatsoever. Did not look good whatsoever. I'm gonna give it another league though, at least. What we could do is we could go back to 3 Karns. Nah. How many blue sources do we have? Nine blue sources. I'm not so excited about that. I might try that new beast for the memes. I mean, yeah, go ahead, Leviathan. I don't think it's worth my time to try that card. I just don't think it's gonna be good. It just doesn't do anything. There's just other cards much better. Nice, thanks for fixing that. Do you think it's wrong to sit and let your timer expire against Neobrand on the new hand? Is it good to think? No, I think that I just get a lot higher life EV by just conceding and just moving on to the next one. I could also just cut Bailoff here. Something like this. Yeah, I think something like that is what I'm going to try next. A couple of Gastos in there. Alright, folks, if you're watching YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I will play another league, and I will see you there. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.